Really, you want to do something? And do you want to do something? You want to know something I did that was real stupid?
What's that?
So today is your favorite holiday, Columbus Day.
That's true. I still celebrate it, and I call it by that name.
And you'd celebrate it in honor of the director, Chris Columbus. Yes. Home
Yes,
Alone.
the
Big Home Alone guy.
big Home Alone, big first two Harry Potters. I think he directed those, and also Mrs. Doubtfire.
Those are good movies.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so as you know, I've been off of work for the last 3 weeks, taking
Mm-hmm.
care of our mother.
I don't know why we have to bring that up, but
No,
all right.
I've already mentioned it on other
Oh,
episodes.
okay.
It's fine.
No,
So,
what
yeah.
I don't like you bringing up is, it felt like you wanted some credit there. You wanted me to say, "Oh, you know what? Great job taking care of our mother," as
No.
if I'm supposed to be grateful for
No, I
it.
don't care what you think. Anyway, I already get validation from the people. I don't need it from you.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so I was off for 3 weeks, and then today I thought that today is going to be like the last day of my day off. It'll give
Mm-hmm.
me time to like catch up on everything. And then Tuesday, I'll get started on work. Guess what?
What?
Office not closed on Columbus Day
Oh. What
/
did they?
Indigenous Peoples Day.
Yeah. What about that? They don't recognize the
Big
indigenous
Pharma
people.
said, no thanks. Anyway, and then I started getting messages because my boss had set up a meeting with me at 10 a.m.
You didn't know?
I didn't know because I haven't checked my email. I was planning to check my email today and like catch up on 3 weeks worth of work. Let
Yeah.
that ADHD dopamine go bing, bang, boom, right? Didn't. And then I was like, oh no. And then I sent her a message. I was like, I'm really sorry. I genuinely just thought that the office was going to be closed today.
Oh.
Sorry. And then
How was that received?
she's really nice. I love my boss.
Oh, okay.
She's very kind. She's a lovely lady. So it was fine, but I did feel very stupid. And then I was like, do you think that they think that I'm celebrating Columbus Day?
Well, they could think that you're celebrating Indigenous Peoples Day. Maybe that's
true.
something.
That's
Yeah.
true. But
Do
they
you
probably think I'm celebrating Columbus Day.
probably you do seem the type. Um, do you have fond memories of Columbus Day? Is Columbus Day a thing that like so like I have, for example, I have a fond memory of Martin Luther King Day specifically because our cousin and I once stayed up for 26 hours to write a giant email to the rest of the family. Do you remember that? That happened
Yeah.
on Martin Luther King Day. So
Okay.
that is a memory that I have. Columbus
Nothing to
Day.
do with the actual person.
No, what? Who?
No.
So I'm trying to rack my brain about what I remember about Columbus Day growing up. Is it a day that the kids have off? Do the kids
Yeah,
have
the
off?
kids do have off from school, but in West Orange we call it Indigenous Peoples Day, okay?
Yeah, I mean, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, I understand. But I'm
Yeah.
just saying, I'm trying to think if there was, I think the only thing I remember is like Columbus Day mattress sales. I remember there being like mattress sales and car
exactly.
sales.
Columbus, I'll be honest with you, Columbus Day, President's Day. What's the other one? These are sales holidays. These are Nissan and Toyota save events or whatever.
Yeah,
those are.
Toyota-thon.
Yeah, it's a Toyota-thon day. It's not really anything else.
No.
But if you did celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day today by knocking over a Columbus statue, I salute you.
Yeah. I was recently at the gym. I was listening to a history or a people's history of the United States.
Uh-huh.
Do you know that book?
No.
And so like the first chapter is about like the the stuff that happened after they landed here. And it's awful. Like you have like an idea of like, well, there's genocide, blah, blah, blah. They were so fucking terrible. Just like cruel in a way that does not make sense. You're just like, oh, this is just evil. And like the people that were here were so freaking cool, man. Like they were just so nice. And like even like in terms of how this society was set up, how open and free they were, all this like bullshit about like American freedom, whatever.
Yeah.
The people that were here before, there was a part in when they were talking about the relationship between men and women. Yeah. And the accepted practice was that, hey, if you're with a woman, like if you are together, you're together. But if you guys want to separate and just walk out and find another partner, it was accepted. Nobody gave a shit. Everyone was just like, hey, yeah, you know what? Enough of this. I'm gonna go off somewhere else. And these motherfuckers came. Just awful.
Also, homosexuality. was like totally fine. Polyamory, also fine. It was just like
Exactly.
people do it. Everybody mind their own business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Anyway.
Anyways, enjoy your 10% off of Columbus Day, you swine.
Okay, we have to talk about this. Now, I did record an episode last week with Tom Hamlet. We talked about housewives and pop culture. So I did ask him some of these questions already, but your opinion is very important to me.
Oh, thanks, man.
You're welcome. So it's now been a full, I believe, 10 days since Taylor Swift had dropped her new album. Actually, I don't even think it's been 10 days. I think it's been like 5.
No, it dropped on a Friday? Was it this past Friday or the Friday before?
Oh, it was the Friday before. Okay, it was the Friday before. Okay, fine, fair. So, new album out, Life of a Showgirl. As we know, she introduced it on her boyfriend's podcast, Fiance's podcast, right? You always start off talking about Taylor Swift by saying, I'm not really a Swiftie. And then you say all the things that you love about her music. So I would love to get your opinion.
All my favorite songs. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to get your opinion on her new album, especially because like you enjoy Taylor Swift, but your favorite musician is Bruce Springsteen, who is known for his songwriting and his incredible lyrics and everything. And I want your opinion because many people of our generation say that Taylor Swift is the greatest songwriter of our generation. And I'd like to know what you think about that.
Well,
in context of the new album and also just her in general. You're on the spot.
Okay. Yeah, that's a lot to put on me. In terms of her ability as a songwriter, right? Like, do I think she's the greatest songwriter of our time? No. I will say that she is probably she's obviously the most prolific pop songwriter of our time, right? Like there's a new Taylor album that comes out pretty often. In terms of her songwriting ability, what I will say is my favorite Taylor Swift song is the 10-minute version of All Too Well, which is fantastic.
Do love it. You love it, and you love to work out to it.
I do. I actually like to sometimes I like to end my workouts in the sauna by winding down and listening to the 10-minute version of that song. It is fantastic. And so I like that. I also, in terms of my favorite Taylor Swift album, I would say it's 1989.
Wow.
Taylor's version, not the original. Taylor's version. So Taylor's version has like, I don't know, like 10 songs that weren't on the previous album. And those 10 songs are really great. So I listen to that kind of constantly. That always makes like my gym playlist. And so when I think about her being a good songwriter, those are the songs that I think about, right? Having said that, like I heard the last album, whatever that Poets, whatever horseshit was.
Yeah.
I heard that the day that it came out, and I enjoyed it, but I only listened to it once. Nothing about it was memorable. I think we talked about it here, and the feeling that we came away from it was that she is, she knows how to make a hit tune, but also she's a psychopath.
And I think we're getting into, so when people say prolific, I never know what it actually means. It's just like a word that people use. And I just looked it up right now. And I guess she is prolific in that she makes a lot of music. Like, so we're heading into quantity over quality here, Tay.
Exactly. And I think that's what I thought about this album. So the first time that I heard it, was actually last night. I was driving to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania for a meeting. And my immediate thought was the same as Noah, your 8-year-old child / music critic, which was, hey, all this sounds like songs that I've heard before, right? Like nothing about this is new. The entire album played, and I was like, and I didn't really notice it except for like 3 songs, I think. And then this morning, when I went to the gym, I did listen to Opalite, and I heard it on repeat. So if you were at the LA Fitness in Camp Hill, Pennsylvania this morning, and you watched a brown man in leggings kind of bopping around in between sets, that was me, and I was listening to Opalite. But the rest of the album, in terms of her songwriting, the tricky thing about Taylor Swift and her songwriting is that you can't just look at her songs just on the face of the songs anymore.
Yeah.
Right. Like the entire persona is part of the song. And so when you look at it from that perspective, it's number one, it's disappointing, I would say, in the sense that this is somebody that has so much influence and power, right?
Yeah.
And overall, the feeling that I got in a bunch of songs was there's just like still like this pick me girl energy
Yeah.
about some of
Mhm.
these things, and it's just like,
Mhm.
Taylor, like, we know you're a billionaire. Like this
Uh-huh.
thing that you are talking about, like, hey, this is, I think it's a song called Wish List, which really
Uh-huh.
fucking annoyed me, which is
Yeah.
about like, hey, these other girls want like Gucci stuff and Instagram and blah blah blah. But me and you, all I want is just us in a neighborhood with a family of folks, and we're just gonna
With
be happy.
all the a bunch of kids that look like you.
Yeah,
Treadway.
exactly. And it's like, wait, what are we talking about here? Like,
Mhm.
Travis is the wife in this equation. I mean, traditionally speaking, he is the one that is tagging along to Taylor Swift's star, right? So
Yeah.
seeing that is, it's disappointing. Also, I think her song about, what's the song about, like, canceled? There's a song
Ugh,
called Canceled, right?
good thing I like my friends canceled.
And it's like, okay, like somebody
Real,
can,
my favorite line
yeah.
from that song is, "Did you girl boss too close to the sun?"
And it's like, okay, everybody knows exactly what this is. This is like engaging with social media while talking down social media, and then also trying to be on the side of like, hey, one of the things that we need to do is just be kind to each other, and like that's how we get around like, this tumultuous time that we're living in. And you go,
Yeah.
yeah, sure, okay, yeah, we should be kinder to each other. But really, the problem here is that we have fucking Nazis in the government trying to ban abortion. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
like,
yeah,
if
yeah,
there's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
somebody that should be talking to that somebody that should have like the responsibility, given her place in the world, I would hope that it's Taylor Swift. And
And here's
so,
the thing. I'm not saying that you need to like, she needs to like put out a big statement or anything.
mhm,
Like, because if we're being honest, Beyonce doesn't do that either.
mhm,
She doesn't, but her music is
yes,
very obviously political. She makes a statement with her music. She speaks to a part of Black America that nobody else really does, or hip hop artists do, but from a pop culture perspective, from like a pop artist perspective, you're not really seeing that from somebody as big as a billionaire like Beyonce, or I mean Rihanna doesn't even do it, right? So
exactly.
you have this platform. I'm not saying that Taylor needs to like, be doing all of that, but she has in the past made music that made a statement. You're Being Too Loud is a completely pro like LGBTQ song, and the whole
Mhm,
entire music video is like drag queens and gay people and all these things, right? So it's not like she's incapable of it. But this album, to me, like now I've listened to it a little bit more. Listen, I said it before, I love the beat, great time,
mhm.
I have a good time listening to Taylor Swift music, okay, I do. And for all the people that are like, why can't we just like have fun? The problem is that the people that are saying like we just need to have fun are like white women hate me so
Oh,
much.
just don't know. Oh no, we're already
Here we
there.
go. Buckle up, sister. It's that the people that are like, why can't we just have fun? Are like the people who have only ever had fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like your rights were just encroached upon in like the last, I'll give you 8 years, 10 years, right? But like the rest of us have been kind of like fucking terrified of what existence right now looks like. And so we're like, okay, but the time to like have fun was a while ago, and we're no longer in fun territory, right? And I'm not saying that we
exactly.
can't like listen to a Taylor Swift song and have a good time, but like it's the out of touchness of her album is really jarring to me. Um Again, I just want to share some of my favorite tracks on the album. I do really enjoy Fate of Ophelia. I also
Mhm.
enjoy Elizabeth Taylor. I like the chorus of Elizabeth Taylor.
Elizabeth
Uh
Taylor pissed me off.
Hollywood hates her. Anyway, also Opalite is good because it sounds like 15 other songs. Like
That's the thing. Yeah,
and the bridge of Fate of Ophelia sounds like every Lana Del Rey song. She actually uses lyrics that are almost identical to Dark Paradise by Lana Del Rey. And like there's even what's it called? Actually Romantic. The
yeah.
guitar riff sounds like Say It Ain't So by Weezer, right?
Exactly. That's the one I thought of. Weezer. I thought of like that Pixies song, the "Where's
Yeah.
My Mind," and like I
Yeah.
guess Weedas, like the
Yes.
teenage dirtbag. That's exactly what I thought of.
But like her thing, like, and I know you don't like her, but I do have to bring up my girl Sabrina Carpenter here because you are anti Sabrina Carpenter through and
I'm
through.
not.
You
I'm
are. You
not.
hate her, and you're on record. Okay.
I urge you to look at my browser history, ma'am.
I'd really rather not. Um, but Sabrina Carpenter. So I watched this TikTok that somebody posted that I thought was so interesting that where they were talking about like the issue with this album, right? Like Taylor Swift's music it's all about three things, right? It's either about um being in love with a guy,
Mm-hmm.
breaking up with a guy, or girls hating her,
Yeah,
right? And that is it's no longer selling. Like it's no longer it doesn't feel like it's doing anything. Do you know
it's
that
not hitting.
it's not hitting, as the kids say? And do you
Mm-hmm.
know that there's certain Taylor Swift albums that were released that are signed by her, but they're also signed by Travis Kelce?
No.
You know, and people are like, we don't care about him, right? Like, this is fine, but it's just okay. I have to ask because with this, Sabrina Carpenter is going to get mixed into this in a minute. But what did you think about the song "Wood"?
Oh boy. I thought
Would you
again.
want your fiance to sing a song about your dong?
I mean, if she's singing about it gloriously, I would say this. Listen, you and I, we are pro horny. I would say, like, right? We are horny for horny. We
Pro
say,
horny.
hey, you got a thing? You a guy tickles your fancy? We say, God bless and mashallah.
His
Congratulations to
penis
you.
is as big as a redwood tree. Go off, sis.
Exactly. Happy for you, right? But it's the fact that I have the rest of the album to listen to. And there is this like fucking pick me attitude or like pick me girl vibe, right? So when I hear that song, what I like the message that I'm receiving is like my boyfriend has such a big dick and he knows how to use it and he lays it down and girls I don't even need a bouquet, right? It's just like what is the purpose of this? And then also like the point about it being like Travis Kelce. Like Travis Kelce is I know him as a football player. I know him from his podcast with his brother, and
Mhm.
they're like goofy guys. And I see
Yeah.
Travis Kelce, and I see him like as like a lovable goof on a football field, right?
Mhm.
Who just goes like, "Let's fucking go" or whatever,
Yeah.
right? And so to think about him and his penis and how hard he's giving it to Taylor, which is what she wants to relay to me. What is the point of this? Why do
And
I need to hear this?
here's the thing. I'm very pro talking about dongs. I listen
Yeah,
to Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B. I love that stuff, right?
yeah.
And I
You
loved
love
Sabrina
that stuff.
Carpenter, huh?
I love that stuff.
I
I
love
love
that stuff. I love when Ariana Grande used to sing like a black girl, and she sang that.
yeah.
Have you ever heard that song "Side to Side" by Ariana Grande?
Oh, I know. I have heard that song. I remember the first time I heard it, like it was on ESPN in the middle of like Sports Center, and it was just going to like it was going to like break, and it was just side to side, and I was like, side that got me walking side to side. What?
That's right. She's talking about Big Sean's dick. And
Yeah.
like I think that there is something really wonderful when artists like to sing about all that stuff. But it's
Yeah.
just the way that Taylor Swift does it to me just it's so cringe to me. Like it just feels weird to me. Did you see what Jason Kelsey said about the song Wood?
No. No.
He said, I'd say Redwood is pretty generous, but if somebody wrote a song about my penis, they would call it a Japanese bonsai.
I wanted to look up a Japanese bonsai so I can get a sense of uh, Jason Kelsey's penis. Is it stockier as a Japanese bonsai? Oh no, it's a little.
It's just a bush. Anyway, it was hilarious. But like, so I'm glad they can like have a laugh about it because it is really funny. Like that's where I'm like, okay, this is selling points here.
Mm-hmm.
But just everything that's rolled out since. So she had like 17 different vinyl covers of the same album. She
Mm-hmm.
had real. I would love to read you all the different Life of a Showgirl versions that have already like dropped. Okay, there's several different variations. Okay, we've got all right, I gotta find it. All right, so the actual album dropped on, oh my god, this is such a long list. Hang on. I'm going to look it up. Okay, we have Oh my god. Okay. So somebody made a spreadsheet. Holy shit. There's 28 versions.
That's insane. And so you
There's
go, well,
28
what?
versions. So then you go, okay, so you're really into selling stuff, right? So
Yeah.
there's there's So Glamorous cabaret version, Life is a Song acoustic version, Dressing Room rehearsal version, Alone in My Tower acoustic version, The Crowd is Your King edition. There's Tiny Bubbles champagne edition. I don't even know what I'm looking at anymore.
Yeah.
This is crazy. She even released a cassette. A cassette. So here's the thing. I think that at the end of the day, this bitch knows how to make money. Okay.
Yeah.
She knows how to make money. She knows how to produce she's fast fashioning music is the
Yep.
thing that I feel like she's doing. And if you're a Taylor Swift fan and you love it, I love it for you. That's really good. But in terms of like incredible, like what I think like her talent could do, I think if she just like took a beat and just like maybe put in a
Stepped
little bit
away.
more thought, would be good.
It
Like
feels
today, it just feels it feels like
hollow.
it feels hollow and it feels what's the word I'm looking for? It feels like there's too like I get that there's a lot of demand for her stuff because obviously she's putting it out and there's enough that some of these are like selling
Mhm.
out and then people are like selling it on eBay already or whatever. Like I get it. But it just feels like there is too much.
It is, and I don't know if if I don't know. I mean, I don't know if we're being unfair to Taylor Swift or whatever because it's like, well,
I don't think it
ultimately,
matters if we're unfair to her. She's a billionaire.
yeah, exactly. So it's like, okay, well, what should we expect out of an artist, right? Like, what do we want out of an artist? Like, I would love for Taylor Swift to use her powers and her finances to just be like the best, most woke version of herself, and go out there and kind of put more of herself on the line. At the same time, she's free to say, well, this is all I want. All I want to do is make songs, and the only people that I care about are my fans, and my fans are demanding all of these different versions of it, so I just want to keep feeding them, keep feeding them, keep feeding them. So she's allowed to do that, obviously, right? And she's been very successful doing that. I just feel like we're kind of hitting like the second peak. Like Taylor Swift hit a peak, I would say, like around 2015, right, where she was once again the biggest artist in the world. Everything was going great, and then the stuff with like Kanye and Kim happened, and then she took a hit, and then she went down, right? I feel like we are once again in that 2015 type of place where it's just Taylor Swift is just Taylor Swift. Nothing matters. All that matters is that when she has music out, you're just meant to enjoy it, and then you're just supposed to consume as much of this stuff as possible,
Yep.
which is fine. Like,
Yep.
that's like by the job description, that is what an artist is supposed to do. At the same time, like the importance that she has overall in society, when I hear this album, I'm like, well, she isn't really doing all that she could with it, right? So, what does it mean for me? What it means is I'm gonna listen to Opalite a bunch. I would say I'm gonna listen to that the Actually Romantic, which is the second song that like the Fate of Ophelia is a song that I feel like is like AI Taylor Swift. Like if you told
It
AI
is.
to
It is.
write it.
It sounds like a person on the internet doing a parody of a Taylor Swift song.
Exactly. And then the rest of them are just they're either forgettable, or they are, if you actually listen to the lyrics, they're actually a little bit infuriating. They're infuriating to me in the same way that, like when you talk to our brother about like feminism, and he's
Hmm.
like, yeah, I get it, but also, come on, feminism.
But also, like,
Yeah. I mean, come on. Come
come
on.
on, come on.
So,
Women need husbands, right? Am I right?
yeah. So that's what it feels like when I hear Taylor Swift complaining about her critics and fucking traitors. It's like, Taylor, you talking about traitors? Like, what do we like? You're
It,
talking
the,
about like
you
social
should only be
media or
talking
whatever.
about Traitors, the incredible television show. That's the
Exactly.
only
If
thing.
if she's dedicated an album to that, then yes, I would buy all 28 versions of it.
Which would make
But
sense because her future mother-in-law is about to be on Traitors.
exactly, you know what? You and I need to get on Taylor Swift's
No.
territory.
Now, what do you think about the controversies of people saying that there is racist undertones in her music and anti-feminist and undertones?
I have not heard any of these any of the controversies.
So, a lot of those songs that she's written about Travis kind
Hmm.
of punched down on his ex-girlfriends. And as
Yes.
you know, his ex-girlfriend is a Black woman. And it would be one thing if Taylor Swift made music like that, where it was like, she's allowed to talk shit about her boyfriend's ex girlfriend, whatever, who cares?
Hmm.
But her fandom is so insane that they do stuff like they harass people that, like, are not, that Taylor Swift might not like because they
Yeah.
function like, middle schoolers or whatever. And I'm not saying every single Taylor Swift fan, but like the Swifties are crazy, right?
They're capable of it.
They're
Yes.
capable of it. Like, Actually Romantic is allegedly a song about Charlie XEX, because Charlie XEX wrote a song called Sympathy is a Knife, where she talks about, because she is married to Maddie Healy from 1975.
Okay.
She's married to his bandmate.
Okay.
And so when Taylor was when Taylor was dating Maddie Healy, they were all on tour together. And, Charlie XCX basically writes a song about how, like, it sucks to be on a tour with like a person who makes you question, like, makes you insecure, but that's not because of her, it's because of the existence of like the world that we live in. It's more about like Charlie, not about
Hmm.
Taylor. So that whole song, Actually Romantic, where she's like, I heard you called me boring Barbie when the Cokes got you feeling brave, it's about Charlie XCX, right? And then even that whole song, the criticism of that song is Taylor Swift does this thing where, oh, you don't like me because actually you're in love with me, is actually like homophobic. It's actually like inappropriate and homophobic to be like, anybody who doesn't like me who's a girl, like, obviously you just want to like be with me, is like a crazy thing to say, right?
Uh-huh.
So, and again, those things would be fine if you were a normal person who had a normal fandom, but you have a
Hmm.
fandom that is absolutely rabid and they behave like lunatics. And so when you put out music that makes them behave like lunatics and attack other people, it's a different level of music that you're making. And so to be like, I'm just like having a good time, but then also to be putting in like the Zodiac killer type of like clues in your music that's going to set people off, you can't have both. And I think that that's where I get into issues with her music. I also, she released some jewelry on her website. It's supposed to be two thunderbolts together and it looks like the SS symbol.
I can already. Yeah, you said two Thunderbolts. I was like, oh, sounds like SS.
And here's the
Um,
thing, here's the thing. I am a Bravo person. Thunderbolts to me is Scandival. Okay, Raquel
yeah.
bought a necklace with a thunderbolt to match Tom Sandoval's. Okay, that's where I think where. But then I saw it and I was like, it has like a five, like a 8-pointed star at the bottom, or it's just, it looks, it's giving Nazi.
Well, I thought you were gonna say I'm a Bravo person. I understand white supremacy because it's
No,
on Bravo.
also no, of course, there's also that, of course.
I think it ties back to like even when I think about like when she talked about Kanye West and kind of everything with her, and even the fact that we were now like half an hour into this thing and we're talking about this person, you know, like how complicit she is in everything that happens, like all of like even like her complaining about social media and like how the attention that's on her being complicit is a part of this, right? And I don't know if complicit is too strong a term or whatever, because this is talking about a woman. I get like, hey, any woman that's getting this much attention or that is under this much constant pressure, you shouldn't say that she's complicit. At the end of the day, what she's just all she's trying to do is just make music or whatever. But like everything that I know about Taylor Swift's personal life, I know because Taylor Swift wants me to know about it. Like it's the stuff that's been in her music. It's the stuff that she lives a very obviously, like a very obvious uh, um uh, what's it called?
Public
Life in
life.
public
Yeah.
life. Exactly, right? So like that's so it's like, okay, how much can you complain while also like the stuff that's in this album, the stuff about Charlie XCX, or anything about Travis Kelce's ex-wife, ex-girlfriend or whatever, Taylor Swift at this point has more than enough experience with these things to know that, hey, when I put this shit out, my fans are gonna go crazy, right? And it's like,
Yeah.
does she have the responsibility of curtailing that stuff? And I think she does. I think being a billionaire comes with that responsibility, right? So I don't know.
And at the end of the day, look, she said herself in her music, she likes her friends canceled. She likes
Yeah.
to be the girl who collects all of the people with controversies. She wants to be in controversy. That's what she wants to do. And some people asked her about the criticism of her album on like a latest interview, and she said the first rule of business is if in the first week you're saying my name or saying the name of my album, then that's good news.
Yeah, and
So,
she is like a business minded professional gangster, right? Like she is
yeah.
obviously she knows exactly what she's doing, and also like to her credit, she went out of her way. She made like the stuff about her recordings like a public thing, right? All the stuff that she was going, that was happening with Scooter Braun or whatever, right? Like so,
Yeah.
she's put that out there. She went out. She's made her money. She deserves to make all of her money because this is her work or whatever. It's just that thing about like, hey, I want to have all this power. I want to have all this wealth. I want to have all this fame, but I also still want to be your best friend. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, you don't, you can't. Like, that's not how this thing works. And the fact that you keep feeding that line of horse shit to your friend, to your fans is actually toxic. Like, it's actually fucked up down the
Yeah.
line, right?
Yeah.
So,
Anyway, everybody listen to Sabrina Carpenter. I mean, she's also on the
I,
album. She has a song, Life of a Showgirl with Sabrina
I heard,
Carpenter.
yeah, I heard that once and I never heard it again. That song is
That's
very
fine.
forgettable.
That's fine. Guys, the reason why I bring up Sabrina Carpenter is because, again, I watched this TikTok about like being sexual, right?
Yeah.
Like how societally, right, when pop stars are sexual, they tend to lean into um showing like Ariana Grande when she was singing about Big Sean's dong.
Mm-hmm.
She was famously showing up as Blackiana or Blariana, right? Where she
Mm-hmm.
was like talking in a black scent and she was behaving differently, right? And then so there is this thing in the media where like somebody like Megan the Stallion, who I think Megan the Stallion is younger than Taylor Swift, right?
Considerably.
Yeah. And so or like even Cardi B is younger than Taylor Swift. Cardi B's
Considerably.
33. Yeah. So
Cardi
like
B is younger than Ariana Grande.
yeah, so like there is this thing, right, where like black women and brown women get to be sexual in music and it's not a big deal. But when somebody who looks like, say, Sabrina Carpenter shows up and she's like overtly sexual, everybody, that's why like all the concerts, people were freaking out because they're like, I thought I was going to a children's concert. Well, why did you think that? Have you not listened to any of her music? That's literally not what her songs are about, right? But you assume that she is because she's a little white girl. And so she shows up very sexual and she shows up very cutesy and white. And so you think that it's not going to be this sexual experience when she's allowed to show up embracing her sexuality too. With Taylor Swift, when she sings in one of her songs, she sings because I'm not a savage and I'm not a bad bitch, right? A lot of people are saying like, again, that's language that was used primarily by black artists, right? Black
Yeah, so
women.
when
Yeah.
I heard that line, I was like, I don't know, I don't need Taylor Swift saying savage and a bad bitch. Like it does not gel. Especially I think in that song, it's like slow, right? That's Eldest Daughter, I think.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And it's about like social media or whatever. And
Yeah.
when I hear that, that's exactly what I think. I'm like, this isn't I don't
Mm-mm.
this does not feel right.
Mm-mm. Yeah. So anyway, hey, I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
And I'd love for you to fill me in on it.
Oh.
What's with the Riyadh comedy festival?
What's with it?
Yeah.
I think it's over now. I think it was like 2 weeks or whatever.
Oh, we're
Uh,
late.
we're late. We're significantly late. So the Riyadh Comedy Festival, I think I heard about it a few months ago, like when it was announced. There was lots of big names there. So Bill Burr, Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, those were I think the biggest names that were out there. But it also had a lot of like the Joe Rogan sphere podcast bros, right? So it had
Ugh.
like it had people like I think Bad Friends is the name of like the
Okay,
Bobby
can I
Lee
tell
and
you the names of some of the
yeah,
people? Okay,
sure.
what Wayne Brady also.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Chris DiStefano, who's like whatever. But there's like a mix. It has like, Russell Peters.
Yeah. So it had some really, really big
Oh,
names on
Louis
there.
C.K.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So it had some really, really big names on it, right? And so it was announced a few months ago, and immediately there was a backlash against people. I think there was a backlash that the first thing that I saw was about like the podcast bros, right? The podcast
Yeah.
bros that were very much pro Trump in the last election. They're the ones that had. I think Theo Vaughn was probably one
Yeah.
of the ones
Yeah.
that was there,
Mm-hmm.
right? So things, people like that that were there. So immediately there was initially like a conversation about, hey, you guys, are kind of dinging minorities and Muslim people on your podcast over here. Meanwhile, you'll go there and you will perform for these Arabs for money, right? And
Yeah.
so that's basically what the conversation turned into. It was just about like, how wrong after a little while, the conversation turned to like, I can't believe that these people are going there to perform for these Arabs. And then it got out of like the sphere of just the Joe Rogan people going over there. And it became more of a conversation about like, hey, is it morally right for us to accept money from Saudi Arabia, from Saudi Arabians, when they have all of these human rights violations, right?
Yeah. When they
Now
like
that
chop up their journalists.
where they chop up journalists and they do all that stuff, right? Now, is that a valid point? Like, is that a valid thing to discuss? Absolutely. I think like when you think about human rights, and you and I, even though we grew up in Saudi Arabia, we were born there, we're not fans of the royal family by any means, right? So
Mm-mm,
I
no.
absolutely I absolutely think that that is a valid conversation to have. Having said that, the feeling that I get when people go into these conversations about like how backwards the Arab world is and how they have human rights violations and all those things, right? This was a feeling that I had when they announced like the Live Golf tournament stuff 4 or 5 years ago, which in that situation it was called sports washing. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia wants you to come over here. They're doing sports washing and they're doing it to cover up all of these heinous acts or whatever. What I can't deny is when I start hearing that stuff, there is definitely a sense of like, I think it's Islamophobia,
Yeah.
or like Arab phobia, where it's just like, yeah, yes, what you are saying is right, but maybe the tone that you're saying it in, that's not like, it's not okay for you to say that. Like, you know,
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that real quick before I lose my train of thought on it, which is like, we always say this, that there is valid criticism of like Israel. And
hmm
there are people who are like, that's anti-Semitic, right? They'll say random things are anti-Semitic. Criticizing Israel
yeah,
is anti-Semitic. And we always say this, that there is criticizing Israel, the government of Israel, Netanyahu, and the people committing genocide and how Israel came about and all of that, criticizing all of those things are valid points that you can discuss with somebody with, you know, intellect.
hmm
But then we also know, and we talk about this all the time, that there is blatant anti Semitism that comes up in certain conversations in the anti Israel conversation
hmm
because people start to lean into anti Semitic, tropes against Jewish people. Similarly, when we talk about Saudi Arabia or the UAE or Qatar or anything like that, right? There are valid concerns about like the governments there and how the people are treated and everything. But then there's things that turn into Islamophobia, like, women don't have rights because you know how these Arabs are. And it's like, well, let's pause on that because that is where I think people still don't know the distinction between being anti like the Gulf nations and being
hmm
anti Muslims and anti Arab. I think that's where people are not necessarily clocking their own internal racism in these situations or their own internal bias to know whether or not, are you saying this because you genuinely are concerned about the governments there, or are you saying this because you don't like Muslim people?
yeah. And so
And
that's,
until
I think, Okay.
until people do that introspection, you're not going to know where that's coming from. And I think sometimes when people want to have a word to say in the conversation, or they just want to like say something about what's going on, they're quick to jump on a thing and just like use whatever is in the top of their mind. But number one, you don't have to make a comment about everything. And number two, just be more mindful of why you say the things that you say, or why you're saying, like,
Exactly.
I hate when shit's coming up over here when like right-wing Christians or the evangelicals are like anti-Muslim or anti-women, and they're like, oh, it's like the Taliban. Whoa, pump your brakes. This is
Yeah.
American
Yeah.
anti-feminist stuff, okay?
Yeah.
Don't bring the Taliban into this, okay? The Taliban is the
Exactly.
Taliban, okay? This is
It-
homegrown American shit.
exactly. Like you were worried about, all these years we were worried about like creeping Sharia and all
Yeah.
that stuff, right? It's like meanwhile, just go to fucking Texas. Like we don't need Sharia. Like if I am a hardcore like fundamentalist, like, crazy like, I wouldn't say crazy Muslim person, but like
You can
a
say that.
problematic Muslim person, right? I don't fucking need Sharia law. I got fucking Texas. You know what I mean? Like, I have or go to Utah. I have polyamory, and I have,
Mm-hmm.
and no abortions. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So yeah, so and then I also think about like, well, is there, because I heard some Bill Burr stuff. Bill Burr got dinged a lot. Like people really really jumped on Bill Burr. His fans turned on him a lot. And so I heard his point of view afterwards, and he was talking about like, the experience of being there and performing in front of people. And so,
Mm-hmm.
yes, the royal family is who pays you. It's it's that they have like a public fund. I think it's called like PIV or something, or the People's Investment Fund or whatever in Saudi Arabia. And that's basically how they buy all of these things. So that's how they get the WWE there. That's how they get fucking Ronaldo there.
Yeah.
All of these things. It comes from one big
So they're
pool of
getting Tom
money.
Brady there.
Exactly. That's the thing, right? Okay, so are you going to criticize Tom Brady for playing a flag football game there, right? Like
Yep.
that is the purpose of this flag football game is, yes, you want to grow football or whatever, but really it's so a bunch of people can get paid. Now, is there value in performing in front of those people though? The actual people.
Yeah.
And so Bill Burr was talking about like the experience of that and like how it was great to connect with all of these people, like actual people laughing at jokes and stuff like that. I think there is value there, right? Now,
Yep.
if somebody ever offered me like millions and millions of dollars to go do something that was just straight up, that I thought was just straight up whitewashing, if I didn't need the money and if I had the luxury of standing on a moral high ground, then sure, I would maybe, pretend like it doesn't matter to me. But, I also can't criticize like the comedians too much because, all right, like you want to get upset at somebody performing in front of in Saudi Arabia for lots of money. Would you criticize that person if they were, performing at fucking, Cowboy Stadium for like a group of, I don't know, evangelicals? You know
Yep.
what I mean? Like it's,
Mm-hmm.
if you're talking about people that suppress freedom, evangelicals and like highly Christian people, there's people in America now that are coming out and very very open about how they want to take away people's freedoms, right? So
Mm-hmm.
yes, there's a point there about the royal family, and yes, we, like the slave labor that happens in Saudi Arabia is primarily people that look like me and you, right?
Yep.
So that criticism is valid, but just to say, well, these people are just it's so out of bounds and it's so crazy that you would perform for these people. I mean, if you kind of look at, in our backyard also, people, people accept a lot of money from a lot of problematic people. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, man, that's the thing, right? Like we get into this space where you are now taking away something. This is why like sometimes when people are like, "Oh, artists that perform in Israel are bad," right?
yeah,
And I'm like, yeah, I mean, the people that live there are the people that have perhaps lived there for generations. If our family didn't move from Saudi Arabia and we lived in Saudi, I would have attended the Riyadh
I
Comedy
would have
Festival.
loved the shit out of it.
I would
Yeah.
have loved the shit out of it. You know what I mean? Like, I remember being a kid and being there and like we would watch certain things that like our cousins in Pakistan didn't get to watch because it hadn't come there yet. Like there is a different culture of living in the Middle East too that you only know from like other people that have also lived in the Middle East.
Yeah.
And so I think that that's a really good point that Bill Burr made. And I think like at the same time, guys, like Carrie Underwood sang at the Trump inauguration. Like, what are we doing here? Okay.
Exactly,
Who
right? It's like,
cares?
okay,
How many people have performed at Mar-a-Lago? Like, get out of here, please. Okay. We all have Facebook and Threads and Instagram on our phones. And guess who was at the inauguration? Mark fucking Zuckerberg. Okay.
exactly.
You know who was dining with Trump a few weeks ago? Tim Pool of Apple. Is that his
Oh,
name?
no, Tim Pool is the crazy podcaster guy.
Oh, who's the
Tim
other
Cook.
guy? Tim
Tim
Cook.
Cook. Yeah.
You might as well be the same thing. Tim Cook of Apple, right? We all have iPhones. So it's like I think that there's no ethical consumption in a capitalist society at
There's
this
no
point anymore.
there's no ethical anything anymore.
There's
And like
no ethics.
fucking you know how the kind of slave labor that goes into like building any smartphone?
Yeah,
Like the
and look how
cobalt.
dirty your smartphone is. So
I don't even
dirty.
care. Exactly. I just want to say, in terms of how starved we were for entertainment when we were growing up in Saudi Arabia, the highlight of our year used to be when there was one amusement park that we used to call Tent Park.
Yeah.
Once a year, Tent Park used to have family night because the rest of the year it was only men. Only men were
Yes.
allowed in Tent Park, or only women. But once a year, we used to have family night, and we used to be so. I used to wear new shoes. So, like I used to go. We used to have our Tent Park outfits. That's how
Was
big
it actually called Tent Park or is that what our parents called it?
I think our parents called it Tent Park because it's a
No,
giant
it's
tent.
real.
Oh, it's really called Tent Park?
It's called Tent Park.
Oh, I love Tent Park. So yeah, so I would have fucking loved to go to Riyadh Comedy Festival.
Oh my god, Raheel, I just found a picture of the teacups at Tent Park. That's amazing.
I'm not gonna look at pictures. I may start crying. I love
It's
that
gonna be
place.
upsetting. Anyway.
I once got lost. I and then I found you guys at the end.
And anyway. Okay, well, before we move over to the state of this country, I have two very important questions to ask you. One is, of course, having to do with the newly single status of Nicole Kidman.
What's the question?
How do you feel about that?
I was looking at it. Now they were together for 19 years, right?
Who knew?
Who knew? Do you have any feelings on Keith Urban? Like, is
Not
there
a single feeling. I forgot he existed.
So Keith Urban, randomly a song came up on my playlist. The Keith Urban song is very good. I'll share it with you. I think it's called like Cheese whatever. What I thought about it was look it up. It's a very good song. It's a very 2002 country song. But what I thought was I figured that they were gonna just be together forever without having any sort of investment in the relationship.
Yeah.
I just figured that, hey, you go 19 years as a celebrity couple. I really don't see a reason for you to break up. Like what I'm assuming in all of these celebrity relationships is that it's kind of like an open relationship.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why you would get separated. So when I saw that, I went, oh, that's sad. It's sad that they are no longer together. I think Nicole Kidman is the breadwinner. I think as far as, again, she's a Taylor Swift in that relationship. Am I excited for a single Nicole out on the scene? Sure. I have always loved Nicole Kidman. I get to AMC early just so I can watch those commercials. Your husband is, I think, also pro Nicole, but in front of you, he is not as pro Nicole.
No,
as
I know, I'm familiar.
Yeah. So I think both of us, we're just ultimately what I want is I just want her to be happy. And I think that's really all I
Both
have
of
to
you are
say.
excited for the opportunity for her to potentially be a part of our family because now you can make the moves on Nicole. You can say, I came to this place for magic.
Yeah. And so if that happens, Nicole, if you're listening,
imagine.
let me know. Yeah.
What do you think about Bad Bunny being the halftime show?
I'm fine with it. I'm happy with it. I'm happy. I like as soon as that was announced, I knew the craziness that was like the crazy reaction that I was gonna get,
Mhm.
and so I was kind of salivating about that. I guess I was just excited that that was gonna happen, and then of course it did happen, and then people are idiots, so I like seeing people get so upset about it. I guess.
Yeah.
Do I think that there's a reason for it? No. Do I know any? Am I a Bad Bunny head? I don't think I know a single Bad Bunny song, right?
If
Do you
you
know
were
a
to
bad?
play if I was to play a song, you'd go, "Oh, that's Bad Bunny? Okay."
Exactly. That's exactly the way that I would think
Yeah.
about it. Yeah.
I'm
But
excited for
sure.
him.
I'm
Yeah.
happy. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for I'm excited to look at I'm excited to see whatever stupid tweet Trump is going to have in the middle of the Super Bowl while our world is falling apart. Like we're going to be on the verge of a nuclear war and this
Mhm.
motherfucker is going to be talking about Bad Bunny. So, that's it.
Exactly. Well, we're almost there, Raheel, because the cities are under attack.
Mhm.
ICE is out there doing all kinds of terrible shit. They've now started a war in Chicago. And
Mhm.
one of my favorite things, I know that you love to watch like videos of like people, military families like coming home, right? You love it.
I
No,
don't
no, no.
want you to say
No,
like
no,
I love
no.
it
No,
today.
no, no. I know.
Sometimes
No, you like it. It
some-
gets you emotional. Sometimes you want to cry. You don't know how you're
sometimes
going
at
to cry.
2 a.m. I go down a rabbit hole and I see a brother surprising his sister at elementary school. I'm sorry, I start to cry.
No, of
And it's
course. I'm not
yeah.
I'm not dinging it, okay? It's all in the realm of a baby putting on glasses for the first time and looking at its mom. It's the cutest thing in the world, okay?
Have you ever watched cochlear implant videos? Those
Real.
get me
Don't
going
get me
too.
started. Don't get me started on those. But
Somebody
my
hears their own voice for the first time. Oh,
my favorite thing right now that's really getting me excited is as I watch ICE try to like take over these cities, the videos that are releasing of people running away from ICE and ICE just like these guys who are just like signed up for a job because they think Christy Nome is hot, like wearing like probably 50 pounds of gear on them,
yeah,
trying to run from people, run and catch. And these people are on bikes.
yeah,
They're just running, regular runners. There's a video that
yeah,
I just saw recently of a guy who has like AirPods in and he looks like he's out for a jog.
yeah.
He's just like out for a jog and he doesn't realize that ICE is chasing him and he's just jogging. And these guys can't catch up. And that's the stuff that makes me happy because I'm like, they're not very good at their job. I mean, look, they're still terrorizing our cities. It's terrifying stuff. They are actually going into neighborhoods where there are no immigrants. It's just Black people.
Yep.
And they are raiding apartment buildings at 2 a.m. It has gone from we are arresting, illegal immigrants to we're arresting criminals to we're now arresting as long as you are a America loving individual, a person who
Hmm.
loves America, you have nothing to be afraid of. So now it's like, the lines are pretty much not even blurred.
Uh,
It's just straight up
it's it's just straight
authoritarian.
up Project 2025,
It
right?
is.
And so
It's
that's
what
the
they
thing.
said they were gonna do.
Exactly. Um, yeah, so like that ice stuff and Christine Nome and kind of how awful and cringy she is, and kind of seeing that obvious humiliation. Like even if you are a very pro Trump person, right? You don't look at an ICE agent, like if you really are, if you're being honest with yourself, you don't look at an ICE agent and say, hey, that's the best of us, right?
Yeah.
A person that's an ICE agent is somebody that could not fucking cut it at the police academy. They
Mhm.
could not cut it at your local town's police academy because they fucking suck. They are
By the
not
way,
worthy of it. Yeah.
somebody alerted me, a few of my listeners have alerted me that there's been ICE recruitment ads on my podcast.
Really? Was it me?
It's actually it's a paid ad where he'll actually speaks into it.
Listen, I won't take money from the Saudi royal family, but I'll take millions of dollars from ICE.
No, no, I don't know. It's
No,
automated. I can't control that. Sorry, guys. I
yeah,
promise you, I
that
don't want you to join ICE.
that fucking sucks. But it is, so to watch that humiliation happen, to watch fucking Christy Nome put together this like whatever that workout video thing was that she was doing, and to see her obviously be embarrassed. Like anybody who is an honest person looks at that and says, this is embarrassing. And you
Yeah.
should be fucking embarrassed, right? And so to watch that humiliation happen in real time is, it does. I don't know. I don't know if it makes me happy, but it goes, well, yeah. So this is exactly the reason why. Like, these guys are fucking losers. That's
Yeah.
the reason why they're ICE agents, because they can't do anything else. And then when you watch them struggle to run after somebody because they're out of shape and they couldn't get into the police academy, you go, well, look at this fucking moron, right? At
Yeah.
the same time, like, we watch those videos, and we get access to those videos sometimes on social media, but what it also means is that there are a shit ton of videos that we don't see, right?
Yep.
There's a shit ton of stuff that's happening in this country, which is absolutely nightmare. Like,
Yep.
people are getting arrested that have been in the country, that have been people get arrested that have been in the country for 20 to 30 years, that have been in this country and that have done more for this country than anything that a fucking ICE agent would do, right? Like,
Yep.
they've contributed more to the wellness of this country than anything that an ICE agent could ever imagine to do, because an ICE agent is an ICE agent because they're a fucking loser,
Yep.
right? And so to think about the unfairness of that and the heartbreak of that it's just really fucking sad. And so, like, for all of the good Christians and all the conservative people that talk about like kindness and Jesus, and I have to see Jesus in every fucking college football game, like, how are you okay with this? How are you, like, I don't know how they tie all of that stuff together, right? So yes, it's funny that they're fat and well, that they're out of shape and that they can't do their job well. But it's also horrific because what it says is that you don't have to be a person that understands nuance for this job, right? And
Yep.
so when you have a person like that and you give them all of this authority, that's a recipe for disaster, and that's not good for anybody.
Yeah. Now, we did write in the agenda today Antifa's girlfriend in ICE bathrooms, and you said, I don't know what that's about.
I don't.
I'd love to tell you. On October 9th, Kristi Noem claimed that federal authorities had arrested, quote, the girlfriend of the founder of Antifa in Portland. And
The
that's
founder of
one of
Antifa?
the founder of Antifa's girlfriend. Okay. It People were like, "What do you mean the founder? Who was the founder of Antifa?" Because Antifa is like a leaderless movement. It's just like a bunch
Yeah.
of people that like stand outside of ICE centers, like a detention centers, and say, like, "We're not letting you harass people." Right? Like, we're not letting you because when they say Antifa, what they mean is that there are people that are currently doing work in neighborhoods, right? Activists that are actively staying in neighborhoods that they know are going to be targeted by ICE. They stand there and they make sure that anybody that is approached by ICE knows their rights, that they're protected from ICE. They're there to make sure ICE doesn't abduct people. Okay, they don't make people disappear. That's what they're doing. So for her to say that there was the founder of Antifa exists, and then also they have a girlfriend is so silly.
Antifa is literally anti-fascist. Like, who is pro-fascist? I guess some people are pretty openly pro-fascism now, but I don't know, man.
I think, hold on, I'm gonna find it because Trump said Antifa was founded, and he said something like, it goes as far back as their roots go as far back as existing in the Weimar Republic in Germany. And I was like, well, do you know why they maybe existed?
Do you know what fascism they were trying to anti?
Yeah. Antifa is a beautiful name for a girl.
Ooh, Antifa Shamim. Sign me up. Well, if this girlfriend is going to break up with the founder of Antifa, Antifa Shamim. Hit me
What
up.
if it was Antifa, girlfriend of Antifa, or Nicole Kidman?
Ooh. Is Nicole Kidman pro-fascism?
Imagine. And then the ICE bathroom. So right now, Kristi Noem's big thing that she said, and I don't know if you know, but have you noticed at any of the footage that goes out of her walking around, there is a camera crew because Mama's making a reality TV show.
And
It's
so,
a
I know I put too much on you all the time. But this is the fucking problem with reality TV. Like, it attracts crazy people. And
Well, that's true.
yeah.
That's true. I like you said, I know white supremacy. I watch a lot of reality TV. I'm
Yeah.
familiar. Okay, I
Yeah.
know this. So she was caught complaining, or she was on the news somewhere complaining that, they're so mean in Chicago. The police doesn't help, and the government within Chicago, the police and everything like that, they don't work with our ICE police, or our ICE agents, and in government buildings, they don't even let them go in and use the bathroom. And I was like, you're not going to tell me, lady who probably loves to monitor who's going in and out of what bathroom. You're going to be like, they didn't even let them use the bathroom. You don't fucking say.
Yeah. And Christy Nome is also very openly having an affair with Corey Lewandowski.
Oh, is that
That's
still
all.
happening?
Oh, that's still happening. Yeah, yeah. It's like the most well-known secret. Even in like conservative circles, they know about that shit.
I always forget what
Again,
Corey Lewandowski looks like, and then I look it up and I'm like, oh, okay, right.
yeah, he looks like a piece of shit. He
He
looks
looks
like a
like
Republican
he
piece of
looks
shit.
like a thumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks
Okay.
like about 75 people I've met in corporate America.
He really does. He really does. So anyway, don't wish you well, ICE, if you're listening to this.
Yeah, they're gonna come knocking on our door.
I know.
Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? Hey, guess what? New Jersey election's coming up, and if it goes the wrong way, ICE may be knocking on my door.
That's true.
So if you live in New Jersey, please vote for Mikey Sherrill. Do I love her? No. But the other guy is totally MAGA.
Yeah,
So
he's insane. Jack Citarelli.
yeah.
I
Apparently
saw both of them like a week ago at an event.
really?
Yeah, I was at like this manufacturing event and they both talked. And
Okay.
Jack Citarelli just has like the worst, just terrible presence. I hate him. I look at him and I'm just freaked out or whatever. She was fine. She is one of those like Democrats that are just very much like, you know, establishment Democrats. And you go, well, this isn't my favorite person in the world. At the same time, it is an obvious choice for me. So, yeah.
Well, apparently, um, Jack Chitterelli, when he was, I don't know what he was a part of in Raritan. I don't know if he was on the council or what. This is many, many years ago, 1994. He voted to ban cursing in New Jersey.
That's offensive. That
That's
should be offensive.
offensive. That's
That is,
offensive. That is so
yeah.
fucked up.
We're
That's
just,
fucked up.
hey, Jack, we're just trying to break balls over here.
How fucking dare you? And you think that you're going to be the governor of New Jersey?
Vafanopoli.
Anyway, great news. This is a weird transition. Donald Trump did it, you guys. He ended the war in Gaza.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and our guy, our Pakistani PM, Shahbaz Sharif, wants to nominate him for the Nobel Peace Prize.
well, it's gone now because the Nobel Peace Prize went to somebody else who ended up being a Trump supporter.
Yeah, it's all, I don't know. This world is, I don't know what the fuck is going on in this world, man. Like, I don't know who to root for, who not to root for. I go, oh, look, a Latina lady won it. That's good.
We're like, oh, this is so exciting. Her name is Maria Corina Machado. Okay,
Yeah.
she's a Nobel Peace Prize winner. She's the opposition leader in Venezuela. Okay, she's been campaigning against, this 12-year illegitimate rule by the current president of Venezuela. And she said, I dedicate my Peace Prize to Donald Trump.
It's like, oh, well, I'm sure that whatever she's doing within Venezuela, too. Is that Maduro? Is that the guy in Venezuela?
Yeah.
That she's going. And so you go, well, I'm sure Maduro's a piece of shit. And then you go, well, Donald Trump hates Maduro. So, like, now do I like Maduro? How does this work? It's the worst game of, my enemy's enemy's my friend or whatever. So,
Yeah, it's a disaster. But
totally disaster.
the hostages have been freed as of
Mhm.
I think an hour ago.
Yeah.
but there are still hostages, Palestinian hostages in Israel. So we'd like to get those out too, if it would be possible. Prisoners,
It is.
children.
So, you go, all right, well, immediately right now, the bombing is stopping. The Israeli army is, I think they're retreating from Gaza, which is
Yep.
all good, right? Like you are happy. You're happy about those things. Obviously, with the hostages being returned to Israel, that's also a good thing. Like those are
Yep.
innocent people and, all that stuff is good. Am I very, very concerned about what happens next? Absolutely. Because the person that we are talking about here is a person that tweeted out a picture or a video, an AI video of him and Netanyahu sitting on a beach in Gaza,
Yep.
next to his resort, right? So, yes, the fact that the bombing has stopped is great, and the fact that people are being allowed back into Gaza is really, really good. Do I expect there to be overall, do I expect there to be empathy in everything that happens next? Absolutely not. I think what's going to happen there is they are going to look at this as a land grab. They are going to look at this as a way to get resorts put up there. And again, you're talking about like those Middle East countries and people like Shabazz Sharif, who is we don't have royalty in Pakistan, but what we do have are political parties like the Sharif family and the Bhutto family and stuff like that. It's pretty much as close to royalty as it gets, right? Without actually being royal.
Yep.
Those people do not give a shit about regular people. So they are going to look at this as a way of, getting their arms around more business.
Yep.
And so immediately, yes, I'm happy that, there's a ceasefire and people are going back. I'm really fucking worried about like what happens next. And I'm really worried about like, people going out there and then just praising Trump for
Yeah.
doing this and what that does to that maniac's ego, right? Like he's already an insane person. And so when you have like legitimate people inflating his ego like this, I don't know. I'm worried.
Can you believe it's not even been a whole year?
It's crazy. Like, you know what's crazy is like we haven't talked in like 2 weeks, right? And
Uh,
I think both of us we were probably thinking about like what we talk about in terms of like the state of the world. I don't even know what sad, crazy thing to talk about, right? Like, I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know if it's like
It's all
the
very bad.
healthcare crisis that we talk about, if it's the ICE stuff that we talk about, if it's all of like the anti-LGBTQ stuff that we talk about, or the fact that there are troops that are being deployed within our cities, which is
Yeah.
insanity. So it's like I don't even know which one of the crazy things you want to talk about. So instead, you and I did the responsible thing and talked about Taylor Swift for 32 minutes.
Somebody got really mad at me, left a comment saying she's talked more about Taylor Swift than Prince Andrew. And I was like, well, I hope I don't need to talk more about Prince
What
Andrew.
happened? What happened to Prince Andrew? Is he
He's
back in the
a
news?
pedophile,
Oh yeah, I mean, okay. I mean, it's
Oh,
just
okay.
something new.
Well, we want to talk about pedophiles. The entire fucking government is currently shut down because the Republicans don't want to release the fucking
Exactly.
Epstein files.
Exactly.
Okay. You know that Trump has gone on to say like something's up with Marjorie. I don't know what's going on with Marjorie Taylor. And I was like, the fact that she could be Trump's enemy, it's like that lady who won the Peace Prize. I thought this is a good thing, but apparently she's pro Trump. And it's like, why I don't like Marjorie Taylor Greene, but if she's going to be in a fight with Trump to somehow get the Epstein files released, I mean, yes.
So that's the crazy thing. Like when I look at Marjorie Taylor Greene now, and I'm just being completely honest, I know of all the horrible shit that she's done, right? I know she's anti-LGBTQ. She's the one that was talking about Jewish space lasers. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of craziness that's there. When I see Marjorie Taylor Greene like in any news story now, my expectation is that she is saying something that is anti-MAGA because that's been the way that she's been like purporting herself for a few months now. And so like I almost have like I not almost, I'll be honest, I had like a positive reaction when I see Marjorie Taylor Greene. And I'm like, fucking ham hock? Like this is how far my own standards have fallen that I see Marjorie Taylor Greene and I'm like, I wonder what Marge is up to.
I
But
wonder, you
maybe
know what? I want to know what she has to say.
I want to know what she has to say, but hopefully, maybe, we're not giving her enough credit. Like, I think that people are allowed to evolve. And I think if Marjorie Taylor Greene has somehow found empathy in her heart for things that are important to that for both sides or whatever, then that's a good thing, right? Like, I think, I don't know, maybe ultimately that's a good thing. Maybe Marjorie Taylor Greene is who fucking saves us, which is again, insane and so depressing. I just I don't know what to do. Like we have like qualified women here, man. Like we one almost one. Oh God.
Oh God. Well, a final thing I want to wrap on, because I think this is of the crazy things that like Trump has said. This is one that I always go back on and I go, we got this silly ass shit going on over here. Thank God we still have some medical regulation. RFK Jr. this week said there are studies that show that boys who get circumcisions have a higher chance of having autism because after the circumcision, they're given Tylenol.
Wait, I got Tylenol after I got circumcised? I don't remember that.
I don't know if you did. We lived in Saudi.
Wait, so
I don't want to think about
is
your circumcision.
I think I got Panadol then because I don't think we had Tylenol.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't think that that's a part of it. Is that really why that there's a higher risk of autism? It
That's
has
what he
something to do with the
said.
snippety
That's what he
snappity?
said in his gravelly voice. Oh, you've seen.
I don't want. I want to be careful. Oh, I'm not gonna say.
We don't need to be careful about RFK Jr.'s weird vocal situation.
Not
Okay?
no not RFK Jr. I was just talking about like if I saw a connection between my own circumcision.
Oh, no. It's like, no. The reason why people are autistic is, I love this quote. I've seen it so many times. Is that the reason why people are autistic is because autistic people be fucking. Okay?
Yeah.
It happens. Okay? It's fine.
Is it a sign that I'm on the spectrum if I keep counting the rings of that form after I get snipped, after my foreskin gets snipped? Because that happens.
Good God. I don't want to think about that. That's too descriptive.
That is too gross.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he said. So, and then he also said in that press conference, if the data isn't there, then we're going to get the data.
I guess I'm lining up. They're gonna have at CVS just show us your dong.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then see if you're on the. Oh man.
I did go yesterday and get my flu and my COVID shot, and I asked the CVS person. I said, "Have you guys seen a decrease in people coming?" They're like, "No, thank God. The numbers are higher than ever. People are still
the
coming in
boosters?
to get the flu shots.
I need to go get boosted. I haven't been
People are
boosted.
coming in, still at least getting their flu shot. You're not getting your COVID shot. That's one thing, but like at least get your flu shot. Okay.
You want to do 2 for 2, right? Like you want to do.
I did both. We did both.
Yeah.
All the whole family got in. They said pow pow pew pew pew. Even the kids.
Shoot us up.
Yeah. So,
Oh boy.
We gotta listen. We don't know how much longer we're gonna have vaccines.
That's true.
So you don't want to end up in a situation where you're trying to go get your vaccine and RFK's gotten it off the market. Okay.
Yeah, he's like, no more vaccines.
No more vaccines. So enjoy your vaccine, load up on Tylenol, get circumcised if you need to.
Get circumcised again. Yeah, or don't.
Or don't.
Grow another one back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Glue
it's
one
fine.
on.
Anyway, yeah, there's just so much stuff. I had another thing to talk about and I completely forgot, but that's fine.
I wanted to talk about sports at some point, but our friend.
I don't want to. We are not feeling loose in this house when it comes to.
Oh, that's true.
The NFL. Okay.
I wanted to talk about the WNBA thing.
I know. I really want to talk about the WNBA also.
Yeah. So we
have
should
to save it for next week. Yeah. Your beloved Jamie asked about it actually from Minnesota.
And I'm sure that we actually have the same thoughts on it because the Lynx are my favorite team.
Yeah.
And Nafisa Collier is a fucking badass, and I love her, and I love everything that she's talking about. And it goes into a much longer conversation about like people that are in ownership positions and like the commissioner and like how she's judged versus the unfair way that somebody like Nafisa Collier is judged and kind of all the horseshit that's been happening there. So we will save it. We will talk about it at some point. But also, while we're on the subject of sports, which we're not, the 49ers, all I'll say to the other 49ers fans over here is we lost Fred Warner yesterday for the year. We already lost Nick Bosa for the year, which, whatever. I think I love this team more than I've loved any other team, like this year's team, more than I've loved any other year's team because we are so injured and we're still going out there and we still almost won that game yesterday. So I'm still excited. I'm not giving up hope. I think we're definitely making the playoffs, and I think if we win, this is a way that we win. We have to go
You know
through
what I
the playoffs.
love when you start talking about the 49ers and then you start
And I say
using the
we,
term we?
we.
It sounds
I'm
like
on the
I'm a
team.
sideline reporter and you're telling me how the game went afterwards. You're like,
Yeah,
"Listen,
exactly.
we did the
Yeah,
best we could today
of
and
course.
I love this team more
Of
than any other team I've ever loved."
Yeah,
Let me
and
tell you,
that's
I'm
all
pissed.
completely
I'm
valid.
pissed about the Eagles right now, okay? This
Mhm.
Thursday night's game, it was
Ooh,
bad.
ooh,
Okay?
it was so
Not
bad.
even close. That was a
Your
bad
husband,
loss.
I could sense the anger and the depression come through just through the text. He was just
we tur-
so
oh,
over it.
we turned off the game. We said, "You know what? I think we've seen enough." We said, "Click.
Poor guy.
We're done here."
Poor guy. He's so because the Eagles started really really good this year, right? They're like 4-0 or
Mhm.
whatever, or maybe 4-0.
Mhm.
And so in like our groups or whatever, all of the Eagles fans would just keep talking about they're so great, blah blah blah. Your husband, because he is very even keeled,
Yeah.
and very on all that stuff, and also he's a little bit insane.
Mhm.
He would not take pride in the victories. He would just say we lucked out, and then he would just complain about all the things that he didn't
Mhm.
like about it, right? And so people have this idea of him in the groups of just being like this negative Nancy, because they're
Mhm.
just like, oh, Fahad's never happy, he's whatever.
Mhm.
It's been proven out. And so he didn't say it in the groups, right? But I felt it for him. I was like, see, this is the reason why. This is the reason why he never gets comfortable.
Well,
I
he's
don't
a
care
very
if they just
glass
get
half
uncomfortable.
empty kind of guy anyway.
Yeah.
So that's just how he is. That's
I
his
think in the back of his head,
he's not trying to
he,
rejoice. He doesn't want to jinx anything. Have you not
I
seen
think,
Silver Linings Playbook, guys?
I think in the back of his head, there's like a 5 to 10% chance that they rescind the Super Bowl victory from last year for some reason. It's just,
Yeah. At some point, if they like lose another game really poorly against some like other really shitty team, I feel like he's gonna be like, you know what? Just give it back.
yeah, just give it back.
Just give it back. You guys don't deserve the cool new rings with when you press a button, the wings come out from the side.
Yeah, and I don't deserve happiness. I don't care.
Anyway, we all do deserve happiness. And you know who really deserves
Oh,
happiness? People who are getting
Taylor
happy
Swift.
listening to
Oh,
Taylor Swift's new album. So I know we shit on her for a while, but listen,
dun, dun,
if you
dun,
like it, we love it.
dun, 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 Opalite. It's a great song, man.
Do. Listen, it sounds like 15 other songs.
It sounds
Max,
like Nazia Hassan from the 80s.
it does. Max
Yeah,
Martin, do you make the same music every time? Sure.
sure.
But Raheel, listen, I'm going to send you a mashup of Elizabeth Taylor with Backstreet Boys, and
Oh
you're going to
no.
lose your mind. You're going to be like, this is the greatest thing I've ever heard.
I'm gonna listen to it and I'll be like, hey, maybe those ice guys aren't that bad. Maybe I need to cut them some slack.
Hey, where can I buy an SS necklace? Taylor?